Welcome back to the Navy Sports Magazine. Time to talk a little Navy women's lacrosse. And somebody's got a unique perspective this week is Navy later on this week will be taking on Army in the first ever women's lacrosse game between the two because she's played against Army before, but not on the lacrosse field. But Lizzy, first things first, for you all as a team, how good is it to just get back on the field coming up on Wednesday and as a team have a chance to put Saturday behind you guys and get right back at it in game competition coming up Wednesday night with a tough Lehigh squad?
Like Coach has been saying, this is a blessing to have a game so close from last Saturday. We're really excited to finally get that game behind us, improve from our mistakes, and prove to everyone that we're not an 0-2 team.
I know for those of you, obviously older players in the program, you all have set a standard for success here, and this is one of the few times where you all didn't meet that standard per se. As an older player, what have the last couple of days been like to make sure that, say, some of the younger players don't necessarily panic right now because you guys didn't have the success that you expect on Saturday?
We definitely want to focus on that this is not Navy women's lacrosse. This is not how we play. This is not what we expect. And I think a lot of the girls understand that. You tell in their faces after the loss that they didn't expect that. We didn't need that. It's not something we look to strive for. But the last two practices have been all about like getting back to the basics, having fun, and loving the game. And like once we start having fun again with it, that's when we'll start like producing and winning.
As a player out there on the field, we watched some of the Lehigh game on Saturday before the men's game, and they literally for at least a 7.5 minute period virtually played keep away from American. As a player on the team that's trying to get the ball back, how tough is that when a team goes into a situation like that? And what can you do as a team to try and maybe get a little more aggressive and try and get possession back for your team, especially in a situation where they were trailing like that?
Yeah, definitely with the stall, it's something that's really hard to try to get back. You know, obviously they're in a stall for a reason. We need the ball back, but we have multiple defenses that we worked for and like been working on to get that ball back, trying to get a double, hard pressure. It's just something where we have to try to capitalize on their mistake, hopefully get a turnover. We have a lot of big defensive, hardworking players, so I'm not really worried about that.
You have a chance to play Army and Lacrosse on Saturday. You are one of the few people on your team that knows what that competition is like. What do you say to your teammates who have never had that opportunity to compete against Army? What are they in for coming up on Saturday?
They definitely realize that this is a big game in our season, something that we've never done before. So I just like to explain to them that this is an emotional game more than a physical game. Definitely for soccer, you know, you go on their field because we're playing away this game. That's a whole different atmosphere. That's something that you'll never know or understand until you're on that field. So just take our emotions, even if it's nervous, scared, excited, put them on the field and like work with them. We gotta take them, use them positively, and make sure we just come out with the win.
I know most games it's really about how you physically perform, but through your years here at the Academy, how have you dealt with that yourself to make sure that, you know, physically you're going to where you're supposed to, but mentally making sure you maintain that focus as well?
I definitely think we just need to, like for me at least, I focused on one game at a time, one competition in front of me. The next game is the most important. You know, right now focusing on Lehigh. Emotionally, I'm excited to play Army, but I know that if I like look too far ahead, it'll affect my game. So emotionally, you just have to take each competitor, even if like you have to focus that it's not about them, it's about us. Sometimes I don't even think about the other team we're playing.
Obviously for you in high school at a real competitive place like Ward Melville, lucky enough to be a letter winner, two different sports, all 4 years. How much did that help you prepare to play two sports on this level where not only, let's face it, I mean, you see it a lot at the Division III level especially, you see some kids who do play multiple sports, may not play them as much. You, on the other hand, have played a ton for both. What has that experience been like here at the Academy?
It's been an awesome experience, something that I definitely don't want to take for like advantage of. But like I say all the time, I think it's a lot harder to play one sport here. Having an off season, those girls work really hard. Being able to play full year round just in the Patriot League and competitive games is such a blessing.
How do you do it? Because I mean, for a student athlete here, it's tough enough to do one, because so much of it, especially both your programs, championship programs. I mean, there's so much that is expected. How in the world have you been able to accomplish what you need to do on the field as well as what's expected of you off the field?
I would say the coaches. The coaches have made it so easy for me to be able to play both sports and do the academic side, the military side, and the athletic side. It's definitely time-wise, it's hard, and the shift from going from one team to the other. But having all the coaches and the girls on my side has made it so much easier.
Did you think coming in that, hey, I can do this, or was there a little trepidation at first in terms of trying to play both sports?
I always thought that I could do it. I mean, I wanted to, and I feel like if you just like focus on it and really concentrate, you'll be able to do anything. But there's definitely been times where I'm, stressed with schoolwork, stressed with the academy lifestyle, that I've thought to myself maybe I've taken too much on. But at the end of the day, having the coaches and the girls there, I wouldn't trade it for the world.
Obviously, Wednesday night against Lehigh, a big game. It's the next game. What do you all have to do to get back on stride Wednesday night, as folks will be able to watch that game on Patriot League TV at 7 o'clock?
We just need to start focusing on ourselves. We definitely gotten away from that, focus on who we're playing, what our mistakes have been. Obviously, we haven't been clicking to where we need to be, but I think the coaches have done a great job on focusing on our defense, our attack, our midfield, our goalie, and not even worrying about other teams. Just getting back to the basics, catching and throwing, running hard, and just winning that game.
Is there a fine line between frustration and, obviously that competitiveness that makes you want to get back out there, and obviously you're going to try that much harder, but sometimes if you try to do too much, that frustration continues sometimes. How do you all, find that fine line that you'll need, obviously, against a good team on Wednesday?
There's definitely a fine line. And I think sometimes we go over a little bit into the frustrated side, but we have to look back, sit down for a second, start to breathe and relax, and realize that this is a game of lacrosse. We know how to play. We know what to do. Just get back to it and start enjoying the game again. And I think that the coaches have definitely done that yesterday. The whole focus of the practice was having fun for the whole practice. So I thought that was huge, and realizing that this is a sport. We know how to play it. We've been playing it since we've been young. Let's get back to the basics and just play lacrosse.
All right, appreciate it. Congratulations on a great career here in two different sports, and good luck on Wednesday night against Lehigh.
Thank you.
All right, Lizzy Rullan joining us here. Mids and Lehigh, 7 o'clock, Patriot League TV. We'll have the call for you coming up from Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium. And don't forget, as always, with all 33 varsity sports, one click of your mouse, www.navysports.com.